Hi, beautiful. Welcome to A Course in Miracles, Chapter 19, The Awakening. We're reading in Section 2, The Coming of the Guest. And I'm going to pause here and say, remember, earlier we've been taught that we have two basic choices, fear or love, to be host to God or hostage to ego. If we want to be hostage to ego, we've chosen fear. If we're willing to be host to God, we've chosen love. And we let love in, and that is the guest. In Section 2, in paragraph 1, about midway down, it says, until you realize you give up nothing, until you understand there is no loss, you will have some regrets about the way that you have chosen. Oh, wow. Why do we miss suffering? I don't know. Maybe our identity is a sufferer. Why do we miss having so many problems? Well, because our identity was problem solver. Why do we miss having challenges? Well, because our identity is being that strong person who overcomes challenges. Until you realize you give up nothing, until you understand there is no loss, you will have some regrets about the way that you have chosen. Sometimes when my psyche is struggling to accept a higher, happier, more expansive reality, I tell myself, you can go back and roll around in the mud later. Let's just try this new way of being. And if we don't like it, if we don't like this more open and beautiful and expansive reality, if we're unable to acclimate to it, then we'll go back and roll around in the mud and eat refuse. But if we like feasting on love, on the truth, in the house of our Father, and we like being bathed in golden light, in finery, in peace, in joy, no longer separate, but at one with all that is, at peace with what is, then we'll stay here. And it's a comfort to me because those small, scared parts of me, of my psyche, that aren't ready to let go, are like, okay, well, I guess we'll go check it out. We can go back to the wallow and climb back in the mud and play victim if we don't like being sovereign. So you might need to tell yourself that too. Realize you give up nothing. And you gain everything. In truth, you always had it. You always had everything that you thought you lacked. You had it. Perceptually, you didn't, but you did. All you're doing is removing the veil. And if you don't like reality, you can put the veil back on. I don't think you're going to want to. But let's see. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon. Mwah.